right, Podpacks Nation, Italian Job, looking good.
Feeling good, Tommy boy. Good to see you, brother.
Likewise, hope you had a great week. I know you've had a busy couple of weeks. We'll get into that in just a moment. We have some special guests, obviously, this week that I'm excited to get to know a little bit better. We will get into that shortly. But before that, you have recently, let's see, now it'll be 2 weeks removed, the BRR. How was this year's experience?
You know, I had a different experience this year. I didn't run it. I got to drive the van, which allowed me to have all the second F with none of the first F, which I'll be honest with you, after running that thing a few times and getting on some of those mountain goats, it was nice driving the van instead of running up them. However, you know, it was the same experience that I've had in years past on all of these CSAUP events, which was building that community with the men, having a good time, just hanging out with my buddies, doing some hard stuff, but hanging out with our buddies. I've got one story I want to share. We were finishing up leg number 30, and we had a runner on the course. We caught up with him and we said, "How are you doing?" He said, "My IT band's acting up." We said, what can we do? He said, "I'm going to finish this thing, but what can we do to help?" He said, "Nothing. I got this." We get to the exchange zone, and his shield lock partner, who happened to be in van number 2, was taking the baton and a couple legs from there. He said, "You know, what's going on? How's he doing out there?" And we said, "His IT band's acting up." And he said, "Where is he?" He's a couple miles down the road. Without even thinking about it, without even slowing down, he said, "I'm going to go get my boy." So Jester was on the course, and without even thinking about it, Iron Sights just started running the opposite direction, and they came across together. He went to get him and bring him in. I don't know how long he ran after until he found Jester, but they came in together because I'm not leaving my brother out there who's hurting. And he ran some extra miles just because he didn't want to leave his brother out there. And that's what it's all about.
That underscore capital THAT is what it's about. I think I didn't run this year. It's been 2 years since I've run. And I still remember my first BRR. I've done it 3 times. But those friendships you build on the course and in the van, prepping, training, dealing with each other's smells on the way up and on the way back. When life starts the sifter of life starts to shake, like those are the guys you call on still to this day. Yeah. There's a lot to be said about getting out there and do hard things. So let's do this, because we're going to talk about CSAUPs today on Stuff Worth Trying, and that's our theme. Italian Job, tell us, for those unschooled out there who may be new to F3 lingo, what does CSAUP stand for?
So CSAUP stands for completely stupid and utterly pointless. Because let's be honest, if it's not crazy enough to get up at 5:15 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning and work out in the dark in your F3 ninja costume of all black,
the reflective black.
Exactly, it's the void of the light. But anyway, if that's not crazy enough, doing something completely stupid and utterly pointless just takes it to the next level. So a CSAUP is a designated event. Sometimes they're professional, where you pay to be a part of them. Sometimes they're put on by the PACs in your local region or another region, where you get together and you do something a little bit different. Not just a workout, but maybe it's a workout that has weekly challenges. Maybe it's a Saturday where you're going to run a certain number of miles with pain stations along the way. Maybe it's a mud run. Maybe it's a Blue Ridge Relay or Palmetto 200. It's an event outside of your routine workouts that pushes your men to go a little bit farther and do things that are a little bit more difficult than they would normally do.
Yeah, you're talking about building durability, right? And that's a big term within F3 lingo. I mean, look, let's be honest. We're still at least waist deep in the middle of this pandemic, and durability counts in times like this. This is what we're training for, in a lot of words. And it just so happens that we're about to wrap up a very famous, maybe even infamous, which I believe is more than famous by definition, CSAUP event. So allow me to give what sounds like a horribly awful intro to 2 special guys. When we speak of completely stupid and utterly pointless, I think of the Iron Packs Challenge. And today we're joined by Ben Gay and Kobayashi. Gentlemen, welcome to Stuff Worth Trying. Thanks for carving out some time.
Oh, thanks for having us. We're excited to talk about IPC.
And to be clear, the stupid and pointless was not geared toward either one of you, and unless you want it to be, but I'm not going to take that charge.
I'll be stupid. You can be utterly pointless, Ben Gay.
All right, sounds good.
Hey, we'll link that in the show notes just for everybody's a follow-up. So fellas, real quick, out of F3 Greenwood, South Carolina, tell us about the origin story of the Iron Packs Challenge.
Right. And I'll let Kobe fill in any details because he's been involved since the beginning. But so 4 years ago, at the time, Sugar was our Nantan, and the conversation was had just about creating a competition. And I think originally the conversation was, how can we create a competition just in-house within our own region? Because we all know as men, generally competition just brings out the best in us. Sometimes the worst, but generally the best in us. And we always want to beat the guy that's next to us. And so I think it started as a conversation about creating a competition, and then I guess the idea was thrown out. Hey, let's kind of set it out to other AOs, other regions, and then before we know it, we've kind of exploded to where we are now. But again, the whole point was just to create a competition, like you guys talked about earlier, something that makes us uncomfortable, that it's not what we do every morning when we go in the gloom, something that's maybe a little harder, something that we didn't think we could do, but to do it together, to increase, to bring our brothers together, to do it, to encourage each other along the way, to like the story, the BRR story. I mean, I think we see that every morning, when we're doing IPC, going back, picking up the 6, encouraging the guy to finish, do that last rep, do that last mile, whatever it is. And I think that was the origin behind IPC. I don't think we expected it to grow the way it has, which is cool to see. Like Dark Helmet said earlier, a little Greenwood and kind of see how it's, expanded across the nation. But it's been exciting to see that growth and just to give guys something they obviously want and they crave.
I mean, you guys have dominated as far as growth. I mean, talk about growth, and it's explosive. I don't know if everybody knows how quickly you grew, but when it comes to growth, because like you said, you started in little old Greenwood, right? And now it's global because F3 is global. What inspired you guys to simply just kind of trust that? You said the word create, you created this thing. What inspired you to trust the creative process and put it out there on Twitter and see who would sign up?
I just think it was we knew our guys, and we knew how, competitive we are with each other. And we just assumed, everybody involved in F3 Nation is the same. They want that's something a little extra. If it was the same thing every morning, I think we'd stop going at some point. So we wanted to, create something that, gave us something to look forward to, where, hey, this is going to be really hard, but I'm still going to get out of bed and I'm still going to go do it because I know my brothers are out there. And so, I don't remember the story about how it got nationwide. Maybe Kobe does. Uncle Jesse was probably the brains behind that one. He couldn't be on this morning, but I think we just kind of threw it out there, the first year or the second year, and kind of just to see what would happen. And now we are where we are right now, and I think that's the cool thing for me, to see when I go to other regions, when I'm posting downrange, and just to hear them talk about Iron Packs Challenge, and and to see the influence it's had on their regions, makes it worth it for us to continue to do it.
Nice.
So TV, I have a question for these guys, because I have been behind the center block pushing it down a parking lot in one of those murder bunny fashions. How do you come up with the ideas for these exercises? Because not all of them are the same exercise that you do routinely. The murder bunny, did you guys invent the murder bunny? And how do these things come together? How do you guys decide what's going to be part of the next week's challenge?
Well, we have some crazies, as we all do, and I'll say we created the murder bunny. I've never seen anybody else do it. I didn't know if it was in the Exicon before, but we have one of our guys, Crayola, who just decided at some point about a year and a half ago, hey, let's try to move a cinder block this way. And, and here we go. So, like I said, we have, when we're looking at the workouts, we have a committee, we all throw ideas out there. We trial run all the workouts, and, and then we're left with what we're left, every week. And I think that just the evil genius, I guess, of some of the guys, in trying to take an exercise that's similar to what we've done and take it in another direction and just, again, make it harder, but again, something that we can do so we can feel accomplished when we're done doing it.
Hey, Kobe, how many guys are participating this year? Over the years past, what kind of growth have you seen? But about how many guys, and who is the furthest away? And, as far as regions go, how far spread are these guys this year?
Yeah. So we started back in 2018 with just a hair over 500 guys, spread out across 52 different regions. And we only had 130 guys complete all 4 weeks. So from there, 2019, we really saw huge growth. We went from 525 guys to 3,052. And we more than doubled our region participation, went up to 107. Participation for all 4 weeks was 1,056. So we had 1,056 guys who were man enough to complete all 4 weeks.
You say man or mad?
Crazy.
Man.
Or both?
Yes.
Or both.
Yeah. Last year, we were at 3,901 guys across 127 regions, and 1,376 completed all 4 weeks. This year, we are on track to have about the same number of guys as last year. We always see the participation, the registration continue to grow throughout each week. Right now, we're at 3,855, and we've got 144 regions signed up.
Wow.
Just over 2,000 completed week 1, and we're in the middle of week 2, and we have 1,017 that have submitted their times as of the taping of this broadcast. Furthest region, I would have to say, is the blokes down there in Australia.
Australia, down under.
They're
Of course.
yeah. We have seen some guys come in from the UK and Spain. So I would say that they get the furthest traveled award, definitely.
Nice.
Those guys in Australia are as crazy as we are after talking to them a couple weeks ago.
Now, do their cinder blocks weigh the same? Because they're metric and we're not. So I'd like to throw that out there.
They don't, and they're also helped by the fact that their toilets swirl the wrong way.
That's right. Yes, that means the murder bunnies are actually going in the wrong direction. They're
Yeah.
more the resurrection bunnies. They're just flipped around.
Technically, I think in the Southern Hemisphere, it's easier to lift things over your head because gravity, you're just hanging down at that point, right? So
Right.
That's how
That's what
gravity
we're
works.
that's what we're gonna hang our hats on, though. I'll put it that way.
Italian job, you might have just created a new exercise with the murder bunny. You can hop 90 degrees. The block.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Where's the delete button in this thing? So, fellas, one of my
next
favorite, yeah, please. One of my favorite experiences with Iron Packs is probably how everybody knows you, is simply through Twitter. The Twitter handle is money. It's fun to watch. It's fun to see guys get worked up. I like how runners get worked up over cinder blocks, and cinder blocks running causes the cinder block studs to get nervous. Hashtag, you can hide behind a squat, but you can't hide behind a lap. But I wonder, I experience you guys being either lovingly irreverent or irreverently loving on Twitter. Do you find that to be the secret sauce to kind of twist the screws on guys to get them to register?
Yeah, no doubt. I love the Twitter banter, especially on Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. When the new workout drops, it's comical. I texted the Nantan and Puget Sound on Sunday when their workout dropped. I said, just have fun, get ready, just read the Twitter and laugh, because I think that just, again, I think it just brings us all together in a weird kind of way. But we all just enjoy it. I mean, I think it's meant to be funny. I think it's meant to drive Iron Packs and the excitement for it, and I think that's what it does. I mean, I think that's one of the main reasons why we grew, is that Twitter handle. Is pushing it out there, calling people out, in a way, and just don't take yourself serious. I mean, just have fun with it, and know if you're getting called out, you're you're probably doing something right. So just enjoy it and go along for the ride. I think that helps us a lot. Get out there, and just, creates controversy, and, we love fun controversy. So
Yeah,
it's definitely
if you're
important.
getting called out, you're doing something right, unless it's submitting your times. If you're getting called out for your times, then you're doing something wrong.
I swear my finger just slipped on the keyboard when I was trying to put that in. Yeah, but you're right
minutes.
though.
No,
Yeah.
27 minutes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I finished that one early. Yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
my bad. Did I do that? My bad. I'll go back in and change it surely. I think you're onto something though, because, and you said it best, you can't take yourselves too seriously. Yes, it's great to push ourselves. Yes, these are completely stupid and utterly pointless. And they're also not, right? They also matter. Back to durability, back to building character, back to sharpening iron.
Mhm.
And then all the way back to sometimes when you're trying to get that 100th yard of a murder bunny, all it takes is a guy to come back and circle back for you and cheer you on. I saw that happen time and time again last year. I've seen it already this year. Somebody's pushing themselves to the brink. Speaking of doing things right or wrong, if you're not pushing yourself to the brink, I hope at least you're making yourself hoarse, cheering on the guys who are, right. Because it's one thing to come out and not leave anybody behind or where you found them. It's another thing to find a way to plug into these events, these CSAUPs, these challenges, and be an asset to your team. So I love that Twitter is a huge asset to the team of the IPC. Anything you want to throw in, Italian Job?
Yeah, we mentioned Greenwood's small little town. For the folks in F3 Nation who don't know, where's Greenwood located and about what's the population of Greenwood? Just so we can kind of get an idea. How small is Greenwood?
Kobe's Googling it right now for you. We're about 45 minutes southwest of Greenville.
South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina. So we're in the upstate of South Carolina, so we're nowhere near the coast. It's really a very, really rural area. We really don't have
no interstate access within 45 minutes to an hour from where we are. So 2019 census pegs us at just over 23,000.
So bigger than I expected, but the fact that, I don't know, 20% of the population of Greenwood is participating in, if we're looking at just numbers, is participating in Ironwood or in the Iron Packs Challenge across the world. So big kudos. I think the point to make there is this doesn't have to come out of the metro area of Charlotte. It doesn't have to come from the birthplace of F3. It doesn't have to come from
we got a lot of guys in the Charlotte area that don't
get them started, Italian
participate.
You're winding them up right now.
Oh, Kobe, we're gonna put you on mute there for a minute.
I don't know if they're scared.
Where's the dump button?
I mean, because the first year, Dredd had an excuse. I mean, he had a busted toe. And I don't know if the guys in Charlotte are just following his lead and not signing up, but yeah, we got more guys signed up in Greenwood than I think much of Charlotte, Metro, Mecca, whatever else they want to call themselves.
I just saw a huge cloud come from outside, but I think that's just Kobe throwing shade. So
I'm gonna have to fuss at him again later.
So fellas, this the whole point of Stuff Worth Trying is to inspire other regions, other men to try new stuff. This obviously came from one idea that was shared by somebody to somebody else that motivated them that, yeah, you should do that. You guys figured out Google, you figured out registration, you figured out how to give it away. What bit of advice would you give to anybody out there who's trying to not duplicate, but be inspired by and move forward through Iron Packs Challenge to maybe something that's rattling around in their brain? What advice do you give them to actualize that vision?
I mean, I really just think throw it out there, give it a chance. Don't be afraid of having to have all the questions answered. Cause I mean, obviously we learn things every year, we learn how to do it better. And we learn, hey, this didn't work. And just how can we make it better for next year? So I think if you think you have to have it all the questions answered and it has to be perfect before you throw it out there, I think you're never going to do it. So just if you have an idea and you got your region or your group of guys who are behind you and are going to support you as you introduce it, then yeah, just go with it and see what happens. And, and like I said, we never thought we'd be here, when we started this and we are, so, but just don't be afraid. If the idea is given to you, if you have the idea, it's gotta be worthwhile, and just make sure you got a group of guys or your region that is going to support you as you kind of throw it out there and just let it go. And then, just trust the process that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, I like to use the spaghetti method. Throw it against the refrigerator, see if it sticks. And if it does, run with it. It's okay to put some sauce on it and go to town. It's like I said on Twitter this morning, it's okay to be scared, but still go out there and do it.
Yeah, well said. All right, so we're coming up on week 4. When this drops, it'll be coming up on week 4. So I have to ask, or else we wouldn't be good hosts. Is there any juicy news or teasers you want to drop out there as a Stuff Worth Trying exclusive, or are we going to stay away from that?
Just hold on. Week 4 is it's week 4 for a reason. So going in. If you remember the wagon wheel at all from last year, it's similar. So
all right. Like we just said, it's okay to be scared.
Don't do it. It's okay to be scared.
It's funny. I know that I'm sick and twisted because that was my favorite one last year. Was the wagon wheel.
Then you're going to enjoy this one.
I know I won't.
He says with a grin and a smirk.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Well, listen, we're going to let you get on with your day. Italian Job, anything for these fellas as you close us out?
I just want to tell you guys, thank you guys, not only for being on the call today, for being part of this podcast, this show, but for putting the challenge out there, continuing to ask guys to step outside of their comfort zone, to do something a little bit more difficult. It just comes to show that every man from across the world wants something to challenge himself. And it's a whole lot better when you're doing it with a bunch of other crazy men. So thank you for putting out that challenge each year. Thank you for being a part of this. We honor and respect you, and can't wait to see what happens in the coming weeks and what happens in next year's Iron Packs Challenge.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
You guys don't take
guys.
it lightly. You're helping us build better men. So keep up the great work and go easy on us, or don't.
No, we can't promise that.
All right, fellas, take care. Italian
see you
Job, I'm
guys.
going to hand it over to you to dominate the day. Kobayashi and Ben Gay, I'll see you on Twitter.
All right. Have a good day, guys.
Thanks,
Be good,
fellas. All right, brother. So we like to close out each one of these on a high note, and we like to call them a challenge worth trying. So in our previous one, we had a challenge worth trying in response to September 11th and just honoring some of our first responders. And we've seen some awesome stuff come through Twitter. Want to remind you guys that we do have a Twitter account. If you guys want to participate in the challenges and let us know how that's going, we have a challenge for this week, but the tag or our Twitter account is at F3SWT, which is Stuff Worth Trying. The challenge this week is to do something difficult, whatever that is. If you are a 3-time-a-week poster, add a 4th day. If you are a runner, go to a ruck workout or go to a gear workout. If you're a gear guy and like to pick things up and put things down, go to a running workout. Just do something that's a little bit more difficult than you would normally do. Push yourself a little bit harder, challenge yourself to do something a little bit more difficult, because to build durability, you have to do hard things. So we're encouraging you men to do a challenge, something that's a little bit more difficult than you normally would do. And then let us know on F3SWT. Let us know what you're doing, and we'll make sure we get that information out to the rest of the nation. But we encourage you guys to do hard things, because it's the only way that we get stronger and get better is by challenging each other. So TV, throwing it back to you to close this thing out. And we'll just do this again next time.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, fellas, it comes down to this. As F3 Nation, we seek out to do hard things, because eventually we'll be called on to do hard things. So I look forward to hearing what you all take after, get after, dominate, fail at, share the failures. If we're failing forward, it's just a fancy way to say that we're learning. So don't forget to reach out to us if you have questions at F3SWT. Tag us in posts, let us know so that we can come alongside you as needed to, lift you up as needed to, or just applaud you for your efforts. But at the end of the day, keep getting after it. All right. Italian Job. Have a great week, my friend. Love you, brother.
Love you too, man. Dominate the day.